Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, and trade it. What's going on, friends and fam, traders, and lovely people from around the entire globe? My boy Albert says good afternoon. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here, man, and thanks for your kind emails the last 2 days. It's been very nice of you. Appreciate it. Arabia Johnson, tell me you smoked some bears today, girlfriend. Chris, what's up? Jill's in the building. Scott McKay, Robin is about to tell us what type of gap occurred on the SPY today. There's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of great movements. Today was a really profitable day for me. And it's really the first solidly just nice, easy day that I've had out there in a while. Arabia grabbed 3.5 R's because she's an animal. Whew! So fired up about that. Well done, Rockstar. Albert got 0.7 R's today, which is beautiful. I snagged myself 2.4 R's today from BIDU. So we'll talk about that. It was a really lucky trade, without question. It was very, very lucky, but it was good nonetheless. It worked. You know, actually would have worked 3 different times. So we're going to talk about it. But truly, folks, we talked about this exact thing happening yesterday. And that's all I can say. I mean, so verbatim, this gap will fill before September gets here. If we gap up tomorrow, which we did not do, if we gap down tomorrow, I'll be more bearish. All right, that was the analysis. Talked about the gap filling. It's probably going to happen between the next 2 or 3 days. Was a gorgeous gap down, and this was a bearish gap and go. Because you did have a little bit of a bullish candle yesterday, right? A little bit of a bullish candle yesterday. Gapping down, we knew this candle needed to fill. Here's the 5-minute chart on the SPY. And when it opened, I mean, it posted a beautiful, beautiful short. So it opened, ran down, so had a nice little bearish move. And then you got to go, okay, well, you had some selling towards the end of yesterday. So, SPY loves to fill its gaps. There's the double bottom. Retest, filling of the gap. So there's the filling of the gap, and then we just roll all the way back down. And that's pretty much it. So really nice move overall on the SPY. Not shocking nor surprising in the slightest, I don't think. I think everyone was prepared really nicely for that move. So the fact that we gapped down today was nice. It was a good gap down. And so again, I think the gap's going to fill. We'll see exactly what that looks like, but realistically, we came into the 100 simple today. We'll find out how far, if we go a little bit lower, but that was the magical analysis from yesterday. The Qs, pretty much the exact same thing, right? White candle, gapping down. It didn't clear the pivots. I mean, we didn't open below the low of yesterday, so it wasn't a spectacularly strong gap, but we had a really good sell-off early in the morning. Then a gap fill, and then again, just a breakdown later in the day that just was really, really nice. So pretty stuff. Good move there on the Qs. Here's the Dow Jones ETF and the Dow Jones. Pretty much almost a full gap fill there. IWM, right, gap fill. So good stuff. We talked about it. It was great. JL says, how bearish is the fact that we closed below that moving average on the SPY? Not specifically insanely bearish. I mean, we needed to in order to fill the gap. So tomorrow we probably gap down a little bit, and then I truly don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow it would seem that we gap down, trade higher, and then again probably roll over a little bit more. If I'm looking at the hourly chart, we just have loads of gaps that need to be filled. The hourly chart is the one that's really going to be helping me out right now. And you're right, we came up into a resistance. So if you're looking at this as a channel on the SPY, I mean, support's down here and resistance is up here. buy low, sell high. So right now we're still kind of up into the top range of this move. I'm expecting a little bit of a bear play, and I'd love for this gap to fill. I think this gap does fill eventually. This one will probably fill tomorrow, right? So we'll most likely gap down tomorrow, fill the gap entirely, and then we'll just see what it does. So not specifically bearish, JL. I'm not saying the market's going to go to zero or this is it. This is the absolute top. For sure it could be, but a little bit of a new black crow, shave bottom candle. If it gaps down tomorrow, I'll be a little bit more bullish early in the morning. And then if it rolls over, that's fine. But again, I do expect just this area is the kind of the buying area, and this area is the selling area for a while. It's going to be pretty choppy out there. Let's navigate it and have a good time. A lot of stocks to look at. Lennon says my BIDU trade was fast. It was very, very quick. And again, we'll talk about it today for sure, but it would have worked 2 separate times if anybody watched or was keeping an eye out on that particular trade. So we're going to go look at that at the end. We'll talk through it. FOMC minutes are going to be releasing tomorrow around 2. I don't necessarily think that's going to be a crazy, insane wild ride, but it might be. I will be gone tomorrow most of the day. I don't expect to be trading that much tomorrow. We will see. But I really do anticipate most of tomorrow, pretty much all day Thursday and all day Friday, I'm going to be gone and MIA. And yeah, that's really it. So Blake and Brad will take good care of you. If you have questions, let me know. But from all standpoints, it's going to be a fun time in the market. So here we go. Let's run through it and talk about it. SYY, Cisco. So we're going to keep an eye on Cisco. This purple line just so happens to be a resistance. Here's the resistance, and I mean, look at this trend on SYY. If I go to a monthly chart, I mean, again, we're at the all-time high area, all-time high. And this is going to most likely be a distribution phase. This is an actual pretty good evening star reversal on SYY. So if you're looking at playing it, I would just be cautious up here. If I had to draw what's about to happen on SYY, which I'm about to, this is what I think would probably occur. Trade down to here, a fake breakout one more time, and then a nice little dip to fill the gaps, and then something like this. That's what I think is going to happen on SYY. So we'll see. SYY, thoughts from here. Had a lot of people request this one. So here's my thoughts on what is likely. That's pretty much it. I don't know if that's realistically going to occur or not. I mean, I never know for sure, but Mr. Squiggles is usually pretty good at this stuff. And I would think that's going to happen. I'd just be very, very cautious on buying up here. If I had 1,000 shares, which I don't, but if I did, I don't have any position on this stock. But if I did, I probably would get into a collar. This would be a good time for a collar on SYY. Lock in some risk, protect yourself, and rock it out from there. Okay, cool. Next on the list is SONO, SONO. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, had an immaculate gap yesterday. Just gorgeous, and it was a fantastic continuation today. I did miss this one, unfortunately, and I'm a little sad that I missed it. I missed it because I was just focusing on other gaps. There was no other excuse other than that. So, we had a gap yesterday. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous continuation. As you guys all know how to play continuations, we gapped down this morning below the moving averages, got above the moving averages, and you could have played this hammer, right? It would have gotten close. So, I mean, your entry would have been there, stop would have been there, and Harry Potter would have come in with his wizardry magic and propped up the stock so he wouldn't have gotten stopped out. But it was a good little trend and nice little move. So the thing is, this is a stock on the weekly chart that is starting to get some nice little space. Technology, household electronics. I think this is the headphone company. Ear jacks, something. I don't know what they do. But this is a really good retest with some great volume. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this one because the weekly chart looks delish. And I do not know how long or even if we're going to be able to catch this pullback. But we are going to want to put this one on our list, ladies and gentlemen. We really are. I mean, I'm not going to put on my list for tomorrow, but just because I'm not trading tomorrow, I'll be in the air on a jet plane around 6 a.m. Wireless home theaters, speakers, and receivers, etc. Wireless surround sound. Nice. I need some surround sound. I need to spoil myself one day with a surround sound setup. I just don't really, I do watch movies actually relatively frequently. I don't watch TV, but I'm a subtitles guy. So no one likes to hang out with me anyway. That's why I have no friends. I'm a subtitles dude. So, yeah. Falco says, does this count as a Newsom indicator since you won't be on the market at all? Probably not. Just because I'm not trading internationally. Usually if I'm internationally traveling, but I will say this, since there's no chance that I'm going to be able to trade much tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, keep your eyes out for some serious bearish selling, because that's when the market likes to just absolutely poop its pants when I'm fully away and can't take advantage of it. So feel free to keep your eyes out there for some market sell-offs. Anyway, SONO, we need to be watching this one. I'm just letting you all know, if you're studying gaps, this gap that happened yesterday is a 10 out of 10. Would trade again. This is a studyable gap. I'm just letting you know it is perfect. So if you're like, oh man, I'd love to know what the perfect gap is, this is one right here. We have it in front of our face. That gap was stupendously spectacular. And just everything about it was wonderful. Plus the 5-minute setup was great. Anyway, let's find out where we can buy a dip on this one. I'm gonna have Blake look at this one on Friday, see if he can catch a pullback on it and see what he thinks about it. But you guys are gonna love having Blake in the afternoon room tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, because he is a wonderful attribute to have in trading. So PAGS, PAGS. Jason says the January options on SONO are great. Sorry, let's go back to here. January call options. January calls. What do we got? Boom, boom. Oh man. Is it really about to be January 2020? Is that a thing? Whoa, those are cheap. Oh boy. Yeah, those are not pricey. A 1250 January 2020 call, you could probably get one for like $2.20. Even on an absolute zero trade, you could have one or two of those. I think that's a good play, man. I probably want to look into the earnings a little bit, maybe just to see if they're really doing good. $15 calls, as you're mentioning, are also not outrageously awful. SONO, they both have good open interest, all that kind of good stuff is good. Let's see what we have on our earnings. So they started off, I'll just bring this over here. So they started off at -45, then they went -2, and then we went +55. Oh, had a big drop here, -22, and then -13. So it's an interesting signal of a little bit of growth. Definitely fun. Okay. I like the option play, man. I do like the risk on it, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Those are, again, especially on some kind of pullback, I think we could really be keeping our eyes on SONO. Gorgeous. Thanks, man. Okay. So we were talking about PAGS, P-A-G-S, which is Jason's last name. And this is a setup that I was really debating. What I think I'm going to do on this is wait for lower high. So this is the first lower high, lower low. I'm thinking of waiting for 2 more lower highs, which will be Wednesday, Thursday, and then see how this plays out on Friday. So PAGs. I'm gonna put on the list for Friday for Blake. You're welcome to keep your eyes on this one. Theoretically, this could be the wave 5, right? This new high that just got put in, that could be a wave 5 and we have a little bit more of a pullback. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but certainly worth watching. So what I was saying a moment ago is I'll be watching and keeping a very close eye on for another lower high, and then another lower high, and then a higher high and a higher low to come in. And at that point, that might be the dip buying opportunity. If you want to try to get it as low as possible, the gap fill makes sense, maybe even a little bit lower. Yesterday, I was kind of thinking of getting in just right below the low of this candle. Just right below there. But the fact that we closed below here today tells me that we might have a shot at going a little bit lower. Anyway, I'll put on the list for Friday. I'm not going to take any other swing trades unless I find one today, which I'm going to do a weekly options newsletter trade. But other than what we come up with today, I won't take anything from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then next week, I'll be trading with Scott McKay all week long in Nashville. So that should be pretty good. All right, next on the list, we have LK. And LK, whew. So I drew a little bit of a range yesterday. And here's the hourly chart on LK. Man, this would be an aggressive long. I'm gonna put it, I know it's on the list for Blake from Wednesday. I'll put it on my list for Monday when I come back. I think we really could do this and that. Like that's very possible on LK. I'm just thinking that if you're gonna trade this little high wave candle, you probably want to do it more as a day trade, like an in and out, kind of a quick approach. Weekly chart looks good. Again, I'd really prefer a limit buy like 1686 if we're trying to catch a bottom, because we have obviously a failed all-time high breakout. And then the question is, are we going to have a failed all-time low breakout? Or do something like this and this and that, and then we bounce? And that's also very possible. Quick trivia question. How many times will I try to catch a bounce on a stock before I just give up on a swing trade level? Even on a day trade level, I just don't I don't often do it on a day trade level, but 4 is the correct answer. Yep, 4 is the correct answer. Banal says, do I have Apple on the list for tomorrow? I don't have it on the list for tomorrow, but I have it on the list for today. So yep, I'll try something 4 times. Good job, Mike, Jason, Arabia, Falco, and Robin. So again, I'm not in on anything on LK right now. I'm just simply saying, if I was going to play a bounce, I could try this for a quick gain, maybe. And then if it does this, I'd try that if that works. And if this one doesn't work, I get stopped out, and that one doesn't work and I get stopped out, I'd try one more down here. And if that one doesn't work, then I would plan for the 4th one, but we'll just kind of see if anything can happen or not. All right, so LK, my boy Blake will be watching this one tomorrow. JMIA, I could not find a short on. I don't know if anyone else was in the same position or the same boat as me, but I could not find a short on JMIA today. I tried. We talked about it yesterday. We said, hey, watch for it to gap up, and it gapped up. And check out this 3-minute candle on Jemima. That's not how you pronounce it, but I was just, it just gapped up and immediately sold off. So I knew within like 19 seconds not to be bullish on this thing. So we talked about it yesterday. I did say, hey, let's see how it gaps up and interacts with the 20 EMA. It could go bullish. It could also fade. I don't know. I watched it, didn't think that it would have a problem shorting, and I couldn't find any shorts on it. So I didn't take anything on JMIA. However, the 20 EMA is a little bit of a resistance. Here's the hourly chart. And what I'm thinking is we could have a little fun on this one, just in case she gets a little rowdy. So we have another half an hour limit entry out there, and I think I'm gonna do that one again. I'm gonna do another half an hour setup. One on a breakout above the high of that hourly chart, and one on a pullback of 1374. Okay. $12 even as a stop loss. And I don't know where that's at. So let me come over here and throw that in there. Okay. All right, just letting this load. Let me look at Zoom. Make sure I put Zoom on this list for Alex. And I might go like 3 or 4 minutes long today, but I won't be able to go massively long because I got to go. Falco says there are some reports this isn't even a real company, just FYI. I think I've also seen those reports as well. It is, and again, you could do it with call options. If you're a little afraid of the potential that something weird happens on this one, the implied volatility is like in the 90s, so it's up there. Earnings. August 21st are earnings. Well, according to TOS anyway. Well, I guess not then. That's why you check. I have that in my rules now to check 4 or 5 different places. I'm gonna check a swing trade, and if there's any one of them that say it's close, then I just wait. So JMIA, I guess no swing trade. Watch it tomorrow for a day trade in case it gaps up. Maybe you can go long, and we'll see if it does anything. Earnings on this one don't appear to be bad, but again, there are some possibilities of some fraudulent weirdness. So let's find out what happens with an earnings call right around the corner, and we can get more insight that way. Good call, Falco. Thanks for the heads up, man. You rock. Ticker symbol SQ. I heard a rumor that there was 1 or 2 traders who bought the bounce off of the 100 simple on a weekly chart on Square. And if you did, congrats. If you didn't, no big deal. I don't know if it's going to bounce off there again, but I think it will. I think it will. Nice little morning star reversal right here. Boom, boom, boom. Who wants to rank this morning star reversal for me? Who wants to throw that into the chat pane? How would you rank that one? What's your thoughts? Jason's throwing a ranking on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being Mr. Squiggles good, and 1 being the opposite of that. You know what's funny? Why does everyone qualify how a 1 to 10 scale works? I think we all know. I think we all get it. Just one guess. Steven has thrown a guess in there. Frank has thrown a guess in there. I was going to go 6.113. So Lita's not far off. She said 5. Steven said 6. Lennon says 6. So Lita, Lennon, and Steven, you are all very close. It's okay. It's okay. The reason that I'm giving it that ranking is because bullish candle, and then you have a bearish gap down, high wave candle, which is nice. And then you have a doji, right? A perfect doji, which is nice. But volume is not really outrageously incredible. Also, I really, really like when you get this candle, right? The third candle is closer to the high of the first candle. I prefer that. So the third candle was just a little bit low, and there was a lot of gappiness between here and there. If I blended all 4 of these candles and turned it into a morning star, that would be much better. But then we gapped up today. Monday. We gapped up Monday. So most people are looking for something like this to happen on Square. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm about to foretell the future for you. Who wants to foretell the future on Square? Type in 1. I think I got it. I think I got it. Now, obviously, I'll just say this to say I'm not actually foretelling the future, but I think I have an idea of what she's about to do. Okay, so I'm going to move this here. That's what I think she's about to do. Okay. Turn this off. Thoughts on Square from here? THU, yes, okay. Just my opinion, but some similarities. Similarities. No chance. Similarities. Just my opinion, some similarities on these candles and sentiment. SQ is at the 100 SMA on the weekly. I do like SQ long term, but if she does not hold this level over the next 2 to 3 months, I think Square could drop to 43. So again, just have your protection just in case. I do like Square long term. I hope everyone knows that. I have some positions in Square long term. I just think that could kind of retest a little bit and figure it out from there. Steven says Square will roll back to 62 and then base building for 2 days and then head back up. Yes, and that makes a lot of sense to me, Steven. And again, if it doesn't hold this level, we're going to have a decent little drop. Yeah. Decent little drop, 43, 47, something like that. But it really won't be very hard for that to occur if we don't start getting some good bounces off of here in the next few weeks to months. I think we do. I'm voting that we do. That's my vote. But you're going to want to have some protection. You're right, buy some protective puts, hold through it. That's my thoughts on Square. Hope it helps. And let's find out if she does that or not. Okay. Next on the list, EA. That's actually just E. So this is EA. EA, nice move today. One of the few stocks that broke the high of yesterday. We talked about that in depth, actually, yesterday afternoon. I hope you're paying attention, JL. I gave you free money on this trade. So here's the breakout of the high of the day. Obviously bullish, right? When the market was tanking, look at this volume. EA, huge volume, tons of white candles, easiest purchase off of yesterday ever. Ever. So just a gorgeous, I mean, talk about an S curve from the heavens on EA. That was really, really beautiful. Gorgeous move. And again, don't mistake this trade as a day trade. You could have played this as a day trade, but you could have also swing traded it. You can use shorter term time frames for a swing trade entry. But on EA, this is actually showing some strength. If you want to play EA, I'm thinking non-directional, which would be put sales, or just really tiptoeing some shares in place. So a tiptoe effect where you're buying like 10 shares at a time because it's still consolidating, it's still sideways. I really do like this pattern. In fact, who wants to give me the ranking of this Morningstar reversal? I'll give you a hint. It's going to be higher than the other one, but lower than 8. Higher than the other one, but lower than 8. All right. So this one is going to be a 6.892. Repeating. The 2 repeats forever. So if you said 7, Alan said 7.25643, which is gorgeous. Banal said 7.897564213, and Lennon says 7.12. Great guesses and phenomenal jobs, ladies and gentlemen. You really just nailed that in there. It's great stuff. Yep, I agree with all those answers. Realistically, I mean, Jason said 7.69. Like that is incredibly close. It's a good morning star, right? It was a one white soldier on the third candle was one white soldier. The second candle was a shaved top candle, had a little bit of a lower shadow, made a little bit of a lower low, a little bit of a lower high, and it's just really good. So nice morning star, and good little pop. So you had the gap up yesterday, bearish candle, and then it popped up today. So EA, bullish to neutral, I think it's going to start working on bouncing. It's going to take some time, but EA has a lot to catch up on, like Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two Interactive is the powerhouse, leaving Activision and Electronic Arts behind for right now. I'm assuming they'll catch up at some point, but doing some put sales, having some longer term shares, being an EA, if you want to, this is kind of the spot that you're going to just slowly tiptoe into it. I have a 0 position on EA and don't plan on it. Can't be in everything. All right, next on the list is Disney. And Disney, I did watch some Disney today. It did gap down this morning and immediately got bought back up. So I did watch this one for a bearish trade, as we talked about yesterday. Is John Alonzo here? Let me find out if my boy John's here. John. Nope, he's not here. Jeff, what's going on, Jeff? Jeff is here. And this fade is phenomenal. Again, I could have played this one. I just focused a little bit too much on BIDU. I don't know why, but BIDU spoke to me today, but it did. I got very lucky. Look at this fade. Look at this volume drop off right here. So you get a huge bullish candle. I mean, gap down, massive bullish candle, good volume. Inside candle, next candle, look at this decline in volume. So this thing just absolutely gets destroyed. Volume really, really tapers off. So you got to be thinking, okay, at this point, you're at least looking at going bullish here with a stop there. Minimum you have to be thinking that. And then this candle comes in, which is, not outrageously great. I get it. And then you get 3 more candles. 3. So remember, if you're looking at buying at a high price and then you get a consolidation, you got to at least drop it down to here. So what happens when you drop your entry? Or at least what do I do when I drop my entry? In a situation like this, again, I did not take this trade, so this is all hindsight. But you can use hindsight to create foresight, ladies and gentlemen. That's a Newsomism right there. If I drop my entry, what am I going to do as well on this trade? That's correct. I'm going to drop my stop a little bit as well. So I might keep the same risk, but usually I'll just drop my entry some. I'll drop my stop a little bit. Sometimes that risk will increase, right? So if the red line was $1, then the blue line's gonna be like 90 cents. So it's very, very close to the same amount of shares. I would have lowered my entry and then boom. Now, if that candle did not trigger me in, okay, so let's say I did not set that trade up bullish to get in there, then definitely, entry above here, stop below there at minimum, or you do a limit buy here with a stop there. One of those two things has to be done, I think, on this trade. And, there you go. Really good trade. So anyway, blue chip gapping down, hashtag Disney, hashtag they make money. Hashtag accounting issues. Now we're gapping down again a little bit tomorrow. So depending on how we gap down again, that's going to show a little bit of weakness because this time we gapped down and closed below the 100. I'm not saying that Disney cannot fill this gap. In fact, it very well could. A lot of blue chip gaps do get faded at some point. So we could easily fill this gap at some level on Disney. But if we gap down tomorrow morning and you're looking at playing Disney, you probably could be keeping an eye out on a little bit of a short trade unless we take out the high of today's candle. If you're looking at a bullish entry on Disney and you haven't played it bullish yet, this is how I would be getting into protective puts rather than stop losses on Disney because it's Disney. And then I would be buying a share or two above 136.14. Next on the list is Apple, and Apple was straight up surge monster today for a bit. You have two gnarly upper shadows. Both of these upper shadows took out the high of this candle, which tells me that some people are getting trapped. A lot of buyers right there, right? That was me 10 years ago, buying all of the call options right there on the breakout. This is it. This is the resistance. Falco says these two candles look like the prior island reversal, and he's talking about right here on Apple. And I would agree, actually. Well, I say actually as in, yeah, I agree. I normally agree with Falco. So, yeah, again, up at this point, I would look for this gap to fill. It's not a perfect tweezer top, but it's close enough. And you have some bearish sentiment. The filling of the gap makes a lot of sense. Yeah, filling of the gap makes sense. Just remember, if it gaps down tomorrow, it will be a retest gap. We'll probably retest, roll up, trade back down, and that might be it. We might get one day of bearishness. You know, I don't know. But for a lot of you who have shares of Apple, numerous traders do have protective puts and covered calls. So if you have some covered calls, let's go into Apple. A lot of people are playing the 230 Octobers. So Alan, I can't remember if you have shares on Apple or not. Most people, pretty much everywhere in the world, has shares of Apple. So the 230 covered call for October, which is not exactly at 230, 229, 298. I still think it's a good spot to have some just some exposure to chip away at the overall cost basis. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but worst case scenario, Apple pulls into 185. Glorious buy low opportunity if we get down there. All right, Mongo database, which is ticker symbol MDB. Mongo. So Mongo, a lot of trends on this one because this thing has been trendy McTrendertown for a while. Falco says he's in a 220, 190 collar for September on Apple. Noted. Thanks, buddy. So Mongo database, trading sideways. I'll come over on this chart as well, just to look at it. And I will say I've really been enjoying using both TrendSpider and TradingView. TrendSpider offers some great insight. I'm just not super fast on it yet, but I'm getting faster. I'm getting better. It takes me some time to learn things because I'm a slow learner. But I've been really implementing both of them. I like them a lot. Mongo, pretty much looking at this one as a really interesting candle. In fact, this should be a raindrop. Let me see if this is a raindrop. Be a raindrop, be a raindrop, be a raindrop. Otherwise, I'm just still need more practice. Oh, I'm getting it. I told you, I'm heating up. Man, just wait until I start catching hold of this thing. I knew today would be a raindrop. Okay, so we got a raindrop on Mongo database, which is not always a doji, by the way. I've noticed that. It's not always a doji. This is not even a doji. This is like a spinning top. It's just usually the placements of them. It's like a trapping candle. This is a great candle for bears and bulls to be trapped, both people. So, man, we could break down nicely in either direction. I don't personally have any position on Mongo database, but if you are, just watch it tomorrow, that high wave candle. I dig it. Could go either direction. I personally would love a pullback. Love a pullback. Let me go to the weekly chart really quick on this guy so I don't have to do any work. No weekly. Maybe it's not, maybe it hasn't been around that long. Weekly support not given for this chart. Yeah, I guess not. Okay, no big deal. Hasn't really been around that long, I guess. JL says, where are all those trend lines automatic? Just click trends. That's all you have to do. So there's the long-term weekly trends right there on Mongo database. JL says, Spider. Is that your gang name? Spider. So yeah, right here, just kind of click trends. All you have to do is click that button. You click the button, turns it off. Here's off, and turn it on. It just automatically draws everything for you. Very useful. Okay, so Mongo database. That's pretty much what we got on it. Beyond Meat. Let's go check out Beyond Meat. BYND, and it is definitely beyond meat. The daily chart, looking at the raindrops. Look at this cute little doji right before it crashed, or raindrop. You've only had 2 raindrops on Beyond Meat so far. Only 2. So back to candles really quick, and what I'm trying to do right now is do a wave count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna chop around here for a little bit on Beyond Meat. In fact, this gap up is actually pretty solid. This is a pretty solid Beyond candle. Here's the daily chart. Oh man, so you have a really cute candle here on BYND, ladies and gentlemen. You could almost, I mean, gap up or gap down out of this, and we should run in that direction for a little bit. A gap up or a gap down could be really nice. Today's candle, very nice candle. Wave 4 could take us all the way back up to like 186, technically. I do think eventually this gap will fill on Beyond Meat, but I'm also thinking that this is not the all-time high. I could be absolutely wrong. It looks like an all-time high based on candles. I'm just saying, I think at some point we could get higher than that, but for right now, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to chop around a bit. The implied volatility is calmed down, and I would actually look for a credit spread at this point. Let's see if there's any options that look good for October. 200 call, I could sell for $1.05. And then a 210, I could buy for 80. So on a $10 margin, I could get, God, that's terrible. $10, I could get 20 cents. Is that right? 200 at $1.05, 210 at 80. That is awful. Wow. Where'd the implied volatility go, bro? And this is October. Jeepers creepers. The puts have some volatility, though. Let's see, like a 105, 100 for October pays. I could sell that for $2. I could buy that for $1. It's not great at all. Never mind. I'm sorry. I even wondered. Apparently Beyond Meat has no options for credit spread, no value for credit spreads. All right, moving on then. Simple as that. Let's just day trade it if you want. Otherwise, don't do anything. AMD had a gorgeous gap down today. Gorgeous gap down. I want to give a congratulatory statement to a few traders who played AMD multiple ways today. We had some who played it up. We had some who played it down. We had some people who did both. I think that was a great way to approach AMD. And this was a really, really fun chart to trade today. I didn't play it, not near one time. But for those who did, I mean, really great job. Mostly what happened is some people went in bearish around here and then got trapped around here. And then most people who were texting me on this one or messaging me or whatever flipped it and went long somewhere in this vicinity and then got out around here. So congratulations. Even if you lost small or won small on AMD, you should have won small, by the way. Is the way it should have worked. If you went short, let's just say you shorted here with a stop up here, you had to know you were wrong around here. I mean, you had to know the trade wasn't working, especially right there. So you get stopped out somewhere around here, you flip and go bullish right here and make that R back with a stop down there. And you should have, Either won small or lost small. If you won small, congrats. I mean, that's really the only way you could have played it. So really give yourself a pat on the back, folks. AMD really has been choppy. For swing trading, I would sell volatility on this one or just kind of leave it alone for a while. Right? So this swing trade, Alita Roberts, right here, you can sell some puts on AMD. I do like the, I really do like the options, the implied volatility. A lot of support down there if you're doing October, September. But right now we have, for a swing trade, an official swing trade on AMD is a $26 put sale for September. And I would love to put some shares down there. And if that happens, awesome. But right now I'm just going to wait it out and sell volatility on AMD. GL says, what would have been the marker to flip and go bullish? Realistically, this candle right here. That one. A close above here, either one of these candles, any of these three, you had to know that you were no longer bearish. Any of these three would have said, hey, I'm no longer bearish. And then from there, you're most likely going long on a pullback of some kind, or worst case, you got to go long at 11 o'clock Central, 12 Eastern. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Trappy trap traps. All right, so AMD, done. Micron Technology, ticker symbol MU. Micron, this is the daily chart on Micron. You have a retest gap from the last 2 days, very similar to the broader market in general. So here is the hourly chart we're going to pop into today. So the hourly chart on Micron, and again, my overall thought process is that we're likely going to break down. This is similar to the broader market. And I'm thinking if you're looking at playing long, it's around 42 to 42.50. So somewhere right in here. This will be a swing trade, Miss Lita Roberts, right into Micron around 42 and some change, 42.20, 42.20 and a half, right? If you are a full-time trader and you day trade the markets, if we take out this candle, which we did, I do think we could probably fill this gap a little bit and again, come down into the 42 area. I do like Micron long-term. Absolutely. This is a very fun stock to own. It's a really fun stock to trade options on, right? Getting into some protection, covered calls, collars, that type of thing. This is working on a massive double bottom. Close above the neckline. We have retested the neckline. And this is so far 2 days into the week. I would love to see this candle turn bearish, right? So this is a future plan on Micron. But I'd love for this candle to turn bearish this week and then eventually break higher than that candle. And that would be a really, really good spot to be in bullish on Micron. If that does not happen, then I would like to start adding to some positions around 37.50. And then, of course, down to the 200 simple moving average. So the 200 simple moving average would be 31.89. So that's where I would buy some more shares of Micron again. Steven says, MU is affected by trade tension issues. These issues are far from over, probably bearish. Not going to disagree. They are absolutely affected by some of these trade issues. Totally agree on that. And the lower it goes, the more happy I am to buy it on a longer term scale. It's a great point. All right, so that's Micron. Walmart, the other swing trade that a lot of people are in, just dominating this one. So we talked about it yesterday that this gap was most likely going to start filling and you're going to be looking at playing Walmart bearish today, right? So here's the intraday charts on Walmart. And just like the rest of the market, we gapped down, so we trade down this morning. We rotated higher and then we just dive bombed. So a good breakdown of Walmart. We looked at this one in depth yesterday. And again, if you're looking at playing Walmart long, I think you're looking at probably just playing it back down around this gap fill. It's going to take you some time. It's going to require some patience, right? I don't know for sure if it's going to get down there or not. But as I said last week, right, if you bought some shares, Lita, off of the 100 simple moving average on Walmart, which we talked about that last week, then you're up nicely. If you, on 100 shares, you know, that's $6 a share every way you slice it. Doesn't have to be an astronomically insane or crazy or weird trade to make money out there, ladies and gentlemen. So Mike, Walmart weekly chart, this is the same wave count that we've had on Walmart for a bit. And I'd like to see it come back down to kind of retest these levels. And again, long-term, buy the dip, buy low, sell high on Walmart, own it, bullish. In-phase energy. In-phase has been screaming. I haven't seen a stock like this in a very, very long time. Just will not stop its shenanigans. Look at this monthly chart. I mean, it is incredible. Incredible. So in-phase energy, the daily time frame, you make a new high and a new low with an upper shadow. This is a retest gap over here. JL says it can't be phased. That's absolutely right. No, it cannot. So looking at it, this is again a weekly chart, and come out to a monthly chart on I'll do it weekly. Here it comes. Don't be that guy. Haven't had one of the don't be that guy posts in a long time. All right. Don't be that guy on ENPH. If you aren't in, safe to say, you missed most of this move. Don't be that guy, AKA JL. That's right. So don't buy here. I'm not saying it won't or can't go higher. I am saying if it does, I won't be in. And I'll be awaiting an actual rest or sideways move or distribution before buying. At some point, a nice gap down on the daily chart and some fierce selling will come in. I don't think I spelled fierce right. Fierce. It's all in caps. It doesn't do it. Is that what's happening? Fierce. F-I before E. Except after C. Okay, so it's before C. All right, I guess that makes sense. Even though that, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that one. Okay, ENPH. Now, I know my buddy Victor Gonzalez has some put sales on in-phase energy, but they are forever away, forever. Kelvin says, is Shop doing the same? Kind of, but Shop did actually have a consolidation not too long ago. So Shopify did have a consolidation. It's this one has not. This one actually has increased more than Shopify in the last year. Victor says, my put sales expired last week. All right, awesome. Shopify is close to being there, Kelvin. I'm not going to disagree with you, but we did have a consolidation. We consolidated all through here, and we did have some really good pullbacks in here. This is the daily chart, and we talked about Shopify yesterday. So this was a retracement. You know, I mean, that huge bearish volume coming in right there. Once we close above that, it was back off to the races. We've been making a lot of money on Shopify. A lot of traders have been making some money on Shopify. One of my coaching students, Joel, played Shopify today, intraday, just as a trend. And again, you can swing trade 5-minute charts, right? They're not mysterious. You can always dip into a 5-minute chart and go, oh, cool. That's a really good entry, Newsom. I like that. I'm going to enter here with a stop way the heck down there, right? $12 risk. That's fine. That could be a swing trade. You can do that. Remember, folks, the market is your oyster. You can do anything you want. Alan says, what about a 40 or 45? 40 or 45. What does that mean, boss man? 4-minute chart or a 40-minute chart or a 45-minute chart? Is that what you're asking? You can definitely use 40-minute charts. Absolutely. Alan says bear call spread for January. On in phase, I would not do that. No. I would not personally do that. That is one of my #1 rules for credit spreads is never try to pick the top of a trend with a credit spread. Even if you think it's going to go down, don't tempt it with a credit spread, man. That's just never been a good idea financially for me. It might work for you because you're better than I am at most things, but don't be the guy to try to be the hero to say this is when it's going to go down and it won't go up this high. That lesson cost me about 70 grand learning that one. So, so for example, Shopify, I've had like 9 or 12 people over the last 2-3 months say, hey man, Shopify's going to stop here. Should I do a bear call spread here? Should I buy puts here? And every single time I'm like, nope, 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 don't do that. It's just bullish trend. Just let it keep being bullish until it doesn't, you know? So yeah, new all-time highs today. I mean, buy the dip on Shopify, it's bullish. If you want to be in, there's a rocking stock. I wouldn't buy long-term up here. So if you're really sweating to be in something, I can give you much, much better stocks to put $10,000 in rather than Shopify at this exact level right here. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit long today, but I'm trying not to go too long. Shopify. All right, NEO, ticker symbol NIO. NEO's doing absolutely nothing, but it did close up 5% today. If it goes higher, it's going to have to do it without me because I'm just not cool enough to take this trade apparently. Here's the double bottom. There's a double bottom right there. Here's the retest gap, and this is it bouncing off of that. And I just did not have the patience to buy there or hold through it, and I don't have any position on NEO. No clue what it's going to do. I'm not going to personally touch this one. I don't know how they make money. I looked over the financials. I'm really not that impressed. However, I'm not saying you can't make money on this trade. I will put this one on the list for Thursday for Blake Anderson. We can see what he thinks, and he'll be setting up some swing trades. It looks like it could pop. Not going to disagree with that. If you play NEO, the way I've played it 2 or 3 different times is I've done it as an absolute 0. So my risk has been I get in and I put a stop at 0, and that's it. So worst case, if it goes to 0, I lose an R. That's how I've been playing NEO. Falco says they don't make money, they're bleeding money. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there you go. All right, so that's NIO on the list for Thursday, Transportation Thursday. Cisco, CSCO, Cisco Systems is getting into a nice little buy zone. I think Lita Roberts is looking at this one for a swing trade because you're coming in contact with the 100 simple on a weekly chart, right? The last few times we've done that, we've bounced a little bit. So if you're looking at playing Cisco Systems, this was the hottest stock for a while, and it was just on an absolute tear for the beginning of the year, and it started to retest some. So there's a few ways you could play Cisco realistically, and I'll make sure this one's on Blake's list as well. But I think Cisco, you could be looking at buying some positions on some pullbacks and just tiptoeing in, you know, or look to catch a breakout, because I do think this gap, the gap down right here, I do think that will fill. And I'll put that on the list for tomorrow for Blake. But yeah, if you're playing Cisco, I'd most likely just be doing it in partials as an investment, not necessarily as a swing trade, although you can, right? So if it gaps out of here, breaks out of here, you could definitely day trade it or swing trade it. But I'd be more inclined to just buy like 100 shares every $2 or $1.50 every $1. Yeah, 47, 27, 46, 27, 45, 27, 44, 27. just buy 100 shares on the way down at each dollar increment and then wait for it to bounce. That's my thought. ANET, A-N-E-T, which is Arista Networks. Arista Networks going sideways. And all I can say on this one, Chief, congratulations, following your plan. Chief had some put sales on Arista Network, and he bought those put sales back over here somewhere after it went higher, mid-new high, and then you got this absolutely gnarly town gap down, and it hasn't stopped since then. So Arista Networks going lower, my friends. That is a double top on a weekly chart. So if you're playing ANET, give it some time. This bad boy is working on some lower lows. If you're selling puts, do so around the 200 simple moving average. I do think Arista Networks did post a double top. I do think we have a lot of opportunities to kind of retest, hang in here, but eventually I think we're going to go lower on ANET. Big, big, big distribution phase, right? So huge distribution. Had a little bit of a false all-time high breakout, and I think we could make a false all-time low breakout down there around the 140s. So give that one some time. Looks bearish to me. I wouldn't be going long where it is right now. All right, NVIDIA, NVDA. So NVIDIA today is down 1.7%. We traded it yesterday for a day trade numerous times, and we talked about it yesterday, and I said verbatim, I mean, feel free to hit the recording from yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, watch for a retracement tomorrow, and it did. So again, it gapped down, and it just had some really good drops. I think it'll continue to drop a little bit because it was just up so far, so far. But very nice inside candle. Really, really pretty. Today's candle is a shaved top candle on NVIDIA. Scott McKay has a covered call for 190 for his shares. I do like NVIDIA longer term. I think this is worst case scenario on NVIDIA. Personally, I could be wrong, but I think that's worst case. And I really do like this candle as an inside candle. So Blake will be looking at this one on Thursday for you. Keep an eye on NVIDIA. If it hangs out and trades sideways and breaks higher, full bull. My thoughts on worst case. Again, I could be fully off. I could be totally wrong. But, ooh, I can't get that same color pink. Two totally different colors. Whatever. All right. Pink and purple. Green and black. Weekly chart. You got a retest gap on a weekly. It's a very, very nice retest gap, but I do think it fills, and then eventually I think it runs higher. So that's NVIDIA. Next on the list is Netflix, NFLX, and Netflix today got straight up Rampage Jackson. We talked about this one as well yesterday. And if you didn't play Netflix bearish today, which I didn't either, shame on me. Netflix was straight up legendary. I mean, this is one of the greatest gaps I've seen in all my years of trading. Absolutely superb. Phenomenal breakdown. I mean, look at this high wave 3-minute candle, entry, stop loss. No reason not to make 2 Rs on this trade. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous gap. Right below the low of yesterday. Oh, man. Oh, boy. So I'm still a little bit on the bearish side on Netflix, folks. Just a bit. For right now, I think we can go lower. I know Bob has a put sale at 285, and he does not mind owning shares. If you're looking at buying Netflix or doing some put sales, I think you can wait until 240. Right? The premium, there's not a lot of bear call spread premium on Netflix. I've looked, but let me just go look at September and just see if there's any money around 320 on a pullback or something tomorrow. What would I like it? I'd really love a 350. That might have to be for October. October 350, I could sell, according to Thinkorswim, for probably probably $3.80 or maybe even $4. And $3.55, I could probably buy for $3.20. There is some money up there. I'm definitely going to consider it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous gap for a day trade and or a swing trade. I mean, I would assume that Netflix is going to do something similar to that right there. It's the same exact gap. So be watching for Netflix to continue lower again tomorrow. Be ready. So, oh man, weekly chart. Yep. Again, ultimately, I'd like to see Netflix trade down to 240. I think that'd be really, really cool. I don't know if it will or not. I mean, obviously, it would require the market to be a little bit bearish, but yep. I'll come back and look at that one more next week. We'll see what she does, but a little bit more bearish and bullish on Netflix right now, waiting for some more pullback. Tesla, we have some really fun swing trades on Tesla. We got this bear call spread up here. We have this put sale down here. Lita Roberts at 160 for Tesla as a swing trade, 160 for November. And then we got a 285 call just as a hedge for the bear call spread. And right now, again, a little bit more bearish to neutral on this one, in my opinion. Very, very strong gap. Beautiful candle today. Beautiful. So if Tesla gaps up tomorrow above the high of today, full bull into the 100. And if it gaps down, it wouldn't be a bad gap, but I'd just kind of wait on it. I'd prefer a gap up tomorrow on Tesla. Anything is possible, of course, but I'm just going to wait on that one to see what it does. Here is the monthly chart, and 195, 100 simple moving average is going to be a nice little support on Tesla, and I'd love to see us revisit that level. Okay, just a few more, and then I'll let you all go. Amazon. Amazon today filled the gap with a gap down. So there's the 5-minute chart. It did post a delectable double bottom, and it went up a little bit higher. But once it took out this low right here, specifically this candle, once Amazon closed below that candle, all that she wants is to go lower. Something, oh, that she wants. So your short would have been right there. Stop would have been right above there. And again, as a swing trade, could have played as a swing trade. Stop up here somewhere. Really nice looking move. And, you know, it was just a gap fill. Really good breakdown. And right now, Amazon is stuck in between the long-term moving averages. It's sideways between the 100 and the 200 simple moving averages. Here's the weekly, and the weekly is at 1651, and we're just waiting to see what's going to happen on Amazon and just the rest of the market. So all is good there. Halliburton had a Morningstar reversal, a nice Morningstar reversal, 9 out of 10, right down here. And then you got this really, really cute candle today. Very cute. In fact, it's almost giving us a second shot to get in above the high on that morning star. The challenge on this trade is if I take this swing trade on Halliburton, I'm gonna be looking at picking a bottom, right? Yep. Oh, when's earnings on this one? Earnings, Halliburton. Halliburton, a ways away. Okay. So we're bottom fishing on this little guy. I almost think we could bracket trade this weekly candle. Yeah, I do think, no, I really want to get in here, stop here. I think that's good. All right, well, I haven't played this one for 18 hours. Falco says, we got to try one of these oil stocks. They've been in the dumpster. No denying that at all. And there's some good dividends on some of these oil stocks coming up. So I can't personally take this trade because I haven't planned it for 18 hours, but I will put it on the list for tomorrow. I'll put Visa on the list for tomorrow as well for Jason. And yeah, be looking at picking up some energy stocks as a little bit of a bounce out there. All right, 4 left, Zscaler. Falco has a put sale at 50 for October, which is a little far away. So that means that Robert Falco, AKA Dr. Falconium, AKA the doctor of the candle, AKA the chart master, does not mind owning shares at $50 on Zscaler. This thing has run like the wind. And right now on a weekly chart, you're closing below some really strong candles. So it seems to me that Zscaler could go a little bit lower, maybe even retest this little double top and then kind of peel down some more. But based on the chart and the trend, probably one that you would want to be in a little bit on the longer term side on a dip. And looking at their earnings, let's check it out over here. Kind of increasing a little bit. We went from -6 to 1 to 9 to 05. So we'll see what happens in September. But yeah, buy low, sell high, buy the dip. Big long-term put sale. I like that one. All right, BIDU today. Most obvious fade of all time? I have to think so. So BIDU had a white candle Friday, a massive white candle yesterday, and it was up 20% over the last 3 days. BIDU, up 20%. Okay, BIDU. Here's the monthly chart, and BIDU's just been getting straight up pummeled. However, we have made a new low. So we broke the low of this candle, which was 100. So this month, we've gotten below 100. We went down to 93.39. So this could be an exceptional trap on BIDU. If we're looking at going long on BIDU, and we will keep an eye on this one, we really could do it above the high of this month's candle. I just felt like this gap up was a very easy fade. When I looked at it, I thought fade immediately. That's what I thought. And it was gapping up into the 50 EMA, which it had not hit in a very long time. Granted, I got very lucky on this trade, but I will show it to you because it was a work of art. Here's BIDU, and here's the extended hours. So the extended hours chart told me that there's no reason at any point in time to be bullish on BIDU. So here's your extended hours. Here's your pre-market. Look at that volume. Look at the break of the support. Look at all of this space over here to the left to go down. We were already below the moving averages. We'd already closed in below here, and it just had a massive, massive sell-off. And the crazy part is I had actually missed an earlier move on the 1 minute. So I don't want to, well, actually I can go to the 1 minute chart now. So I missed this. I got skipped over because I was going to short it here with a stop there. And I would have gotten out of everything here for an R and some change. And that would have been it. But I got skipped on that one. And so I didn't play it. So then when this candle came in, I was thinking to myself, well, if I was going to short here earlier, I might as well start looking to short here now. So I did. As soon as this candle came in right here, I started considering to go short. So if I flip back over to a 2 minute, I started watching it. Bullish candle. I just started watching each bullish candle and said to myself, okay, if it takes out the low of this candle, I'm going to go bearish. And then this guy showed up. And so I said, well, all right, cool. Entry here, stop there. That's how I'm gonna take that trade. Expecting it to do this, you know, tons and tons of volume. I got very lucky on this trade, no question, but I did post it in Slack before it happened, about 3 minutes before it happened actually. And then there's the breakdown and I'm out right there. That was it. That is about $1,300 in 6 minutes. Not too bad. Really, really good little breakdown. And you could have done that with puts. Now the cool part is if I just exit out of this, it actually happened same level again later in the day and then another time. So here was, again, even if you took the exact same trade that I posted in Slack, this time, right there, you would have gotten 2 Rs. Then it came back up and obviously it didn't work the third time, but it did give you a double top. It did close below the neckline and it did break down that, took out that trend. And again, really, really good short. Feel free to practice. If you've been looking at fading stocks, practice BIDU fade today because it was delectable. From here, on a swing trade level, we will see what BIDU does. I'm expecting something like this. Let me delete that, and something like this. What is interesting on BIDU, ladies and gentlemen, is this is an island reversal on BIDU. It's here, it's happening. So if this island reversal does not fill and it remains an island reversal, this could be a very strong signal to start looking for some longs on BIDU down here. So start keeping your eyes on the prize on BIDU. We will continue watching it, but that one could be nice. All right, we got two Carvana. And Carvana, as I've been talking about, incredible earnings, great trend, good volume. You want to buy the dip on Carvana. Now, what is very interesting is this exceptionally small candle right here off of the 10. This is an inside candle, doji. It could go either direction. So if it breaks down, if you're trying to short it for a day trade, cool. If it breaks up and you're trying to go long for day trade or a swing trade, cool. Otherwise, you're probably looking at buying a dip around 69.84 on Carvana. Trend is bullish. Volume looks great. Buy low, sell high. I like the high wave candle. If it breaks, great. If it breaks in either direction, that should be fun. And then last but not least for the day is Zoom. Lee has a put sale at $80 for September. And my buddy Alex tried to play Zoom on a breakdown. And he was looking at shorting it right here with a stop loss right there, and it just didn't quite work. So good try, Alex. That's all I can say on ZMN. Good try. It was just not meant to be. But there will be another one. I'm sure you'll get another shot at it on Zoom. Just wait for a gap. Right now we're in a distribution phase on Zoom. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to be hanging out, not doing anything incredible. It did gap down today. You're absolutely correct. You did have a small gap down today. And on a 5-minute chart, there was a lot of bearish movement to be made. So just verify. One of my rules for day trading is if I can see 3 times where I obviously should have gotten into the trade, I'm chasing. So if you ever want to know, hey, am I chasing? That's how I find out. I look at the chart. I just ask myself nicely, are there 3 times where I could have taken this trade beforehand? And if I can find 3 instances where I'm like, yep, should have gotten in there, should have gotten in there, should have gotten in there, I don't take the next one because I think it's a chase. So maybe that might help. I don't know. And I did promise JL I would look at IQ. IQ gap down on decent earnings, I feel like. I feel they were decent, but I guess we'll see what the market thinks. It gapped down and immediately got bought up. So there was 0 chance that you're going to short this thing at all today. If you shorted IQ today, you need to get your IQ checked because this was just amazing. 3-minute candle, close above all that resistance, retest, boom, boom, boom. Gorgeous, gorgeous fade on IQ. From here, it needs to hold this low. If for any reason IQ closes below today's candle, we're going to go down into the single digits on IQ. I'll just put this, okay. If IQ closes below here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, single digits. And that's pretty much it. It should hold that for a while at 1637. Here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart looks good. This very well could be a buy low, sell high location on IQ. Not going to argue that or question that at all. Volume actually is increasing. So if you're looking at taking a stab on IQ, you probably can do so with a decent risk-reward ratio. Just something to consider. All right, team, that is it for me for today and actually this week. As I mentioned, Blake Anderson will be here all day in the afternoon room tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Here's the stocks I'll make sure he looks at tomorrow. Anything else you guys want him to consider for some swing trades tomorrow afternoon? Albert says, thanks, Jeremy. Have a great break. It will not be a break at all, but I will have a good time not trading. Yes. I will for sure. Leon says, I'll see you on ESPN, the Ocho. the alternative ESPN channel. Steven says, overcome the challenge, JN. I will, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make you all proud. I'm going to do the equivalent of Everest in the next 72 hours. My legs are going to fall off, but I'm going to drag myself with my arms if I have to. I'm going to get up this thing. There's only going to be, what, 20, 30 people out of the hundreds who are going to be there who are going to be able to do it, and I'll be one of those people. So it's going to be incredible. I'll see you all there. I'll be sharing pictures, videos, all that kind of good stuff. Love you guys. I'm out. And until next time, love life, trade it. Bye.